First, state your name, age, and the present condition of your health. And whether, in your condition, you could travel to attend in person to Beaver, the court now sitting there.
I'm Brigham Young. I'm in my 75th year. It would be a great risk to both my health and life for me to travel to Beaver at this time, as I am, and have been for some time, an invalid.
Second, what office, either ecclesiastical, civil, or military, did you hold in the year 1857?
I was governor of the territory, ex officio superintendent to Indian Affairs, and president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in the year 1857.
The last time I was here, I was 6 months old. They say you don't remember things at that age, but I remember feelings. I remember the feel of wooden wagon wheels bouncing over the rocky ground. I remember the feel of horse hooves as they pounded across the meadow. I remember the feelings of love that flowed through everyone on that wagon train. It felt special. Two different worlds met on this spot. One of love, the other of hate.
What is it?
Riders. Looks like 6 of them. Let's go see who we have. Greetings. I'm Captain Alexander Fancher. Captain John Baker. Perhaps you could tell us, are we close to the supply station?
There is no supply station.
We were told there was a supply station near here.
No supply station. Best if you keep going.
Well, we need supplies, which we will happily pay for. And a resting spot where we can graze and water our livestock.
We have nothing to sell.
We pass rich fields being cultivated all across this territory, yet you say you have nothing to sell us?
That's right.
We don't have enough supplies to get us to California.
Is there a problem, Alexander?
Seems they don't like strangers.
Just making sure that you do not stop here.
We're willing to pay. Top dollar.
Money is the root of all evil.
Well, what about charity and mercy?
Our livestock need to graze and water. Our people need rest.
You should have thought about that before.
Well, name's General Jacob Samuelson. And these are my sons, Jonathan and Micah. Folks around here call me the Bishop of the General. I'm the Bishop of the church, the General of the local militia, and the Mayor. All rolled into one.
I'm Captain Alexander Fancher, one of the leaders of this wagon train. This is Captain Baker, Nancy Dunlap. Now, these people here are telling us to move along. Now, we're hoping to buy provisions and water and graze our livestock. We don't come begging. We're willing to pay.
Not an unreasonable request. Need to show some Christian charity here now, don't we?
Thank goodness.
The men here sometimes get a little excited. We've had many problems with immigrants using this trail.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So, you understand, we need to check you out before we decide whether to help you or not.
Of course. We have nothing to hide.
You stay here. My sons and I will look things over.
That's a fine animal you're on, sir.
This is One-Eyed Blaze. He's my pride and joy.
Must be worth a pretty penny.
2,000, that's no lie.
Now, what fool would pay so much for a horse?
A breeding or gaming man, sir? You interested in horses, son? We have the best horses west of the Mississippi with us.
Whoa.
Well, there's nothing here that looks menacing. You all seem to be good Christian men and women.
Thank you, Bishop. Does this mean you'll let us stay here and rest a while?
First, let me ask where you people are from.
Most of us are from Arkansas. Some of us are from Missouri.
Missouri.
Our people need rest, Bishop. We'll pay double with American Gold Eagles.
No, of course not. One should not pay for what God provides.
Thank you.
My men will direct you to a place not very far from here where you can camp for no more than 2 weeks. You'll be safe from the hostile Indians there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bishop.
Good day. Yeah.
Did you see those horses? Yeah, weren't they something? I've never seen horses like that before. $2,000 for a horse? Whew. Man, I could have a mansion with that kind of money.
Those horses are going to be used for gambling. Gambling is a sin. Some of them come from Missouri and Arkansas. I want you to keep an eye on the immigrants. You need to find out more about them.
We will. Yes, Father.
I know every detail. No telling what could be important. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. All that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. put the horses wagon away. Dinner is in exactly 1 hour. Don't be late. Micah, expect you and your new wives to be on time. No excuses.
Yes, sir.
You spend too much time with them. The Prophet recommends that every man should have at least 3 wives. Maybe you should take another one. What are you smiling at? Don't even have a single wife yet.
He's particular.
Too particular, if you'll ask me.
Let me take her.
Emily, you've been a godsend since my Jenny died.
Well, you know, we've all got to help one another, Robert.
You know, the baby needs a mother.
Let us give thanks to the Lord.
We thank you for the food we eat, the shelter that keeps us dry, the clothes that keep us warm.
Thank you for this beautiful place for us to rest, and for the animals to feed and drink.
We thank you for delivering the Gentiles into our hands.
Bless the bishop and his family for allowing us to stay.
Surely these people are cursed beyond hope of redemption.
Thank you for showing the light of Christian charity to those who doubted our motives for staying in this glorious place.
Cursed the Gentile dogs who allow abominations, like that woman in pants who carries a gun. Curse all the people from Missouri who drove us from our land.
In Jesus' name.
May these children of Satan go to hell. Amen.
As he rode along, he wondered what he would do if he came face to face. He had a lot of things.
A word with you, Captain Fancher. In private, if you please. How long do you plan to stay here?
Well, the bishop's allowed us 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
We need that time for our people to rest, animals to get their bellies full, their strength back.
I have a bad feeling about this place. It isn't safe, and I think we should move on as soon as possible.
The bishop himself said we'd be safe here.
I know, but I don't like it. I have children that depend upon me.
As do I.
I can't help it. Since Lorenzo got sick, I just worry all the time. My children have only me to depend upon.
Nancy, you're not alone. You've got an entire wagon train here with you. Now, the bishops seems to have an understanding with the Indians, and, well, I believe we're safe here.
It's not the Indians I worry about.
How long will you be gone, Father?
2 days. Jonathan, if you're the eldest, you'll be responsible.
Yes, sir. Are you sure you don't want me to go with you?
I'm sure.
Would you like me to do as you suggested and check up on the immigrants?
You're awfully eager to follow my suggestions.
I'd like to get another look at the horses.
You sure that's all you want to get a look at?
Watch them closely. Want to know what they're up to.
What would you like me to do?
You watch your brother.
What are you doing?
Watching you.
Morning, sir.
Morning. You're the bishop's son.
Yes, sir. I'm Jonathan.
Beautiful day.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Are you out for a morning ride, are you?
No, sir. Truth is, I was admiring your horses yesterday, and I was hoping to get a closer look at them. If that's okay by you.
Let's ride on down and get you that closer look. I'm always proud to show off our horses. You like horses, do you?
Yes, sir. Seems I have a way with them. These all mares?
Brood mares. Most of them are due in the spring. When we get to California, we should have a fine crop of babies.
I've never seen horses like this before.
You probably never will. These horses are Kentucky's finest. We plan to start horse racing when we get to California. Give those miners something to do besides drinking and whoring.
Why is that horse tied away from the others?
Mean, unmanageable, doesn't like anybody. Heard he was kept in a stall for a whole year and never let out while his owners tried to decide what to do with it.
You planning on racing him?
No, he's unrideable.
Then why do you keep him?
For breeding. He'll make a great sire one day. He's got the finest bloodlines and he runs like the wind.
I'm telling you, I swear my brother knows how to talk to horses.
Very impressive.
Ma'am? Begging your pardon.
That was quite impressive, Mr. Samuelson.
Jonathan. My name's Jonathan.
Emily. I'm Emily.
I saw you on the first day. I was riding in my father's carriage.
I remember.
I'm Micah, Mr. Talkative's brother.
Nice to meet you, Micah. So do all animals like you?
Most, I guess.
Perhaps you'd like to try and ride him.
He's magnificent.
Captain Fancher, why don't you let Jonathan try to ride him?
I'd say that's Jonathan's decision. I'll warn you, though, he's thrown every rider that's tried.
Mr. Samuelson?
Jonathan. Please, call me Jonathan.
Jonathan.
I'll need a corral. One without corners, so he won't feel confined.
I think we can provide that. Come back tomorrow in the morning. You can have a go at it.
We are earnestly seeking to expose the vicious principles of Joseph Smith and those who practice the same abominations and whoredoms. Joseph Smith has ordered us to destroy everything. He's the voice of God. Burn the papers! Burn the papers! Burn everything!
We will trample down our enemies and make it one gore of blood from the Rocky Mountains to the Atlantic Ocean. I will be to this generation a second Muhammad, whose motto in treating for peace was the Al-Quran or the sword. So shall it eventually be with us. Joseph Smith or the sword. Burn. Let their lies burn.
Why does Joseph Smith need protection? He's supposed to be a general or a king.
I heard you got 40 wives.
King Smith.
I told you that Joseph Smith meant trouble. Probably those Missourians, they hate him.
Must be 100 people down there. We gotta get back downstairs. You stay put.
We will never leave you or forsake you. Brother Hiram.
Joseph Smith is dead! Joseph Smith is dead!
Here he comes.
Mr. Samuelson, good morning.
Good morning, Captain Fancher. What have you done to him?
He's ready to go if you are. I'll hold him while you mount. You let me know when you're ready, I'll pull that blindfold.
That won't be necessary. Good boy, that's it, come on. You listen to me now. listening to me now. Come on, good boy, that's it. Come on. We're gonna be a good team.
I think that boy does speak horse.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Good morning, Jonathan.
Here we go. Get up on you. That's it, good boy. Okay. Ready? Here we go. It's okay. We're still partners. Okay? Here we go. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. See? We're buddies.
Joseph Smith himself ordered a company of day knights to put right physically that which is not right, and to cleanse the church of very great evils. I have no wife whom I love so well that I would not put a javelin through her heart for lying with my brother, and I would do so with clean hands. There are sins that men commit for which they cannot attain forgiveness in this world or in that which is to come. And if their eyes were open to their true condition, they would be perfectly willing to have their blood spilt upon the ground to atone for that sin. If there is a person here that has committed a sin that he knows will deprive him of that exaltation which he desires, and he cannot attain to it without the shedding of his blood to atone for that sin and be saved and exalted with the gods, they would say, "Shed my blood, that I may be saved and exalted with the gods."
Done wonders with him.
Good boy. No, he does most of the work. I just hang on.
You two look like you've been together forever.
You have a beautiful baby.
Thank you, but she isn't mine. her mother died at childbirth, so I'm just helping the other woman and Robert take care of her.
And she's doing a wonderful job of it. I couldn't survive without her.
Can you believe what Jonathan's been able to do with the stallion?
It's impressive. But I'd like to see what happens when you take him outside the confines of this little corral.
President Buchanan has sent thousands of troops, which are on their way here to kill all the Indians and all the Mormons.
It's outrageous. Outrageous.
President Buchanan means to remove me as governor and give the kingdom to the Merricats. I will try to take care of number one. And if it is wicked for me to try to preserve myself, I shall persist in it. For I am intending to take care of myself. Hell cannot remove me. I'm still your governor.
Glory to God.
I will still rule this people until God himself permits another to take my place.
Hallelujah.
I'm declaring martial law. We will not be run out. This time we will stand and fight. I am the voice of God. And anyone who doesn't like it will be hewn down. God has revealed to me that I have the right and the power to call down curses on anyone who tries to invade our lands. Therefore, I curse the Gentiles.
Amen. You like him?
He's a beautiful horse. And with the right handling, he'll be a great horse.
Well, I'm glad you think so, because he's yours to keep.
I can't accept such a gift.
Boy, that horse belongs to you. He was yours the moment you laid eyes on each other. And it wouldn't be fair for me to stop love at first sight, now, would it?
Thank you, sir. You're very generous.
No more generous than your father's been to us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
I don't know how to accept such a fine gift.
I think as the captain said, I think he was yours the moment you laid eyes on each other. Love at first sight. Do you believe in that?
I don't know.
It happened to my parents. My mother always likes to say it was God's plan for their lives, that it was their destiny to be together. Do you believe in destiny?
You're different. I mean, I've never met anyone like you before.
You haven't? A lot of people say it's because I'm a pastor's daughter, which I really don't like. It makes me feel like a misfit.
I've never really been around Gentiles before.
Gentiles? What do you mean by that? You're not Jewish.
It's just what we call you people.
You people? What do you mean by you people?
It's just a manner of speaking. You know, different parts of the country have different ways of saying things, you know?
Well, I suppose biblically speaking, you're correct. But then that would make you a Gentile, too.
Actually, I like that you're different from the other girls around here.
How am I different?
Well, for a start, you're the prettiest girl I've ever seen.
Well, I like that.
And you speak your mind. You're not afraid to tell people what you think.
Why is that different? A lot of the women around here speak their mind. I mean, look at Nancy. She's much more outspoken than I am.
You mean the woman who wears the pants and carries the gun?
Yes.
My father thinks she's an abomination.
Does he?
He's not different from the rest of the men around here. And I don't see other women in the wagon train wearing pants or carrying guns. I mean, so what do they think about her?
It's a free country. She can do what she pleases. I mean, why would your father care about something like that? What difference does it make to him?
That's just the way he is. A lot of things bother him.
Why look at the mote in your brother's eye when there was a beam in yours?
What?
Jesus said that in Matthew. It sounds as though your father is always looking for the motes in other people's eyes.
He's the bishop. I mean, it's his job. He has to keep people in line. What does your father do?
My father says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." Jesus said that too.
How does he keep control? How does he punish the sinners?
He doesn't punish sinners. Their sins are between them and God. Will I see you again?
Even if the sun doesn't rise.
A wagon train from Missouri and Arkansas is camped at the Mountain Meadows. They have 500 head of prize beef, a choice herd of Kentucky racehorses, Kentucky muzzleloaders, large stockpile of ammunition, and a well-guarded wagon with a trunk that is said to be full of gold.
I hear some of them are Missouri Wildcats who brag about killing Joseph Smith and carry the very gun that killed him. They say that they will join the army and kill Brigham Young, all the apostles, and every damned Mormon man, woman, and child.
They have no pass to go through our country. No man has right to go through our lands without a pass.
They could be killed as common enemies. The Paiutes and the Brethren must stick together, for the Meerkats plan to kill us all.
We've led the Meerkats to the Mountain Meadows. Perfect place for an ambush and a siege.
A crown of celestial glory and eternal joy is the reward of those who are faithful and willingly obey. We are gathered here to build up the kingdom of God. It exalts God that he has planted this people in a place that's not desired by the wicked. Until this moment, I have protected immigrants who've passed through this territory. But now I will loose the Indians upon them. And if any miserable scoundrel comes here to our Zion, cut his throat. We take a solemn oath to never discuss this, even among ourselves, and promise to keep the whole matter secret from every human being.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Rejoice in the Lord, O you righteous, for praise is comely for the upright. Praise the Lord with harp. Sing unto him with psaltery, and an instrument of 10 strings.
You should be careful, Emily. These people are different.
I find him interesting.
I know.
Where are you going?
To the river to bathe.
Is that safe?
Safer than one more day with the smell. Good night.
Emily,
Oh,
no good will come of this.
seems like a lot of people have opinions about things which are none of their business, Robert.
We're leaving in a week, and your heart will still be here.
Well, maybe I will stay with my heart.
Be one of his many wives. At least you'll have help with the dishes.
see. Something out there? Whoa. What are you doing here? Spying on you? Boy, can he run. I got Father's best horse here, and he can't even keep up. Promise me you'll let him sire some stock for me?
Why are you spying on me?
Oh, Father's a little worried about you. He thinks you're getting a little too friendly with the Gentiles.
What do you think?
You need a wife?
I'm getting tired of hearing that.
Well, let me tell you, there's nothing like a soft body to cuddle up with at night.
I don't want to hear about that.
You like that Gentile girl?
Why?
She sure is pretty. You think she'll convert?
Maybe I will.
Now you're just being stupid. You're the man. She's the one who needs to convert.
Micah, do you love your wife?
I don't know. I mean, what's love? Maybe men don't fall in love, only women do. You ever thought about that?
No.
You need a wife. Here you go. Where are you going? Home. To bed. With my wife's.
Well, be careful you don't go falling in love, okay?
That's okay. At least I'm married.
Oh, you want me to put your horse away for you?
No, I'll do it. I want to talk to Father when he gets home.
Fine-looking horse.
Yes, he is, Father.
Where'd he come from?
He was a gift. To me.
Who would give you such a fine gift, and why?
Well, the truth is, no one else could go near him. So they gave him to me.
You make a great sire. Definitely improve the quality of our stock.
Yes.
What's happening with the immigrants? When do they plan to move out?
I think they plan to stay the 2 weeks that you gave them.
Have they said anything about the prophet's murder?
I don't think they even know who Joseph Smith was.
Have you heard them talk about joining Buchanan's army, running us out of here?
All they want to do is go to California. I think you've got them figured wrong. They mean no harm.
Some of them are from Missouri. Can't trust anyone from Missouri.
It's like saying every Mormon is perfect and can do no wrong.
You're not getting attached to the immigrants, are you?
What do you mean?
I noticed those immigrant girls had an eye for you. I've been thinking, the Taylor girl is awful pretty. It's time you took a wife.
I don't want one right now. Gwen Taylor is sweet on Donald.
I'm the bishop around here. You can have any girl you want as a wife.
But I'm not interested in her, Father. I don't want someone to marry me just because you're the bishop.
Why not? You have your mother's looks, my position. Any girl would be proud to be sealed to you.
She was beautiful. At least that's how I remember her. Is that how you remember her?
She was considered the most beautiful woman in these parts.
What happened to my mother?
After all these years, what does it matter?
Matters to me. The apostle took her away. I want to know why.
He had a revelation she was supposed to be his wife.
And you believed him. She already had a family and a husband. She was sealed to you in the church.
As the Apostle Hebert says, learn to do as you're told. If you're told by your leaders to do a thing, do it. It's none of your business whether it be right or wrong.
It's wrong to take a mother from her children, a wife from her husband. No one can do that.
There are many things that we don't understand because we don't have direct revelations from God.
You didn't even argue with him, did you?
He was one of the apostles. I had no right to argue with him.
She knew. She saw through the lie. Came back for us.
Jonathan.
She was willing to die for us. You were there.
What are you talking about?
You were there when she died.
You don't understand. I loved her. When I die, her secret name will be the first name I'll call. I'll make her celestial goddess of my planet.
You loved her. You let the apostle take her away and kill her.
I had no choice.
You're responsible for her death.
Jonathan! Jonathan, stop! Stop, Jonathan, you kill him!
Don't kill my mother.
He didn't kill her! He was there! He didn't kill her! I saw him there! He didn't kill her! The Danites killed her. And the apostle made him watch. My mother said he cried for months.
I would die for the woman I loved before I saw her murdered.
Get up. Get up.
What for?
You're going to the temple for your endowments.
But I haven't taken the test. How can I get a recommend?
I'm the bishop. I decide what you do and when you do it. You're temple worthy, and you're going to the temple whether you like it or not. Your brothers will escort you.
Don't argue, Jonathan. Just do it.
Everyone who passes through their endowment in the temple are placed under the most sacred obligation to avenge the blood of the prophet whenever an opportunity arises. You must teach your children to do the same. The entire Mormon people are sworn and avowed enemies of the American nation. The blood of Christ will never wipe that out. Your own blood must atone for it, and the judgments of the Almighty will come sooner or later, and every man or woman will have to atone for breaking their covenant.
We, and each of us, covenant and promise that we will not reveal any of the secrets of this, the second token of the Aaronic priesthood, with its accompanying name, sign, or penalty. Should we do so, we agree to have our breasts cut open and our hearts and vitals torn out from our bodies and given to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field.
Hold me. Don't ever let me go.
I won't. I promise.
I didn't think you were coming.
I'll always come back for you. Nothing, nobody will ever keep anything between us.
I've never met anyone like you.
I've never met anyone like you. I've loved you since the first moment I saw your beautiful face.
We don't even know each other. Do you think it can happen so fast?
Love at first sight. It's only a matter of minutes. Or maybe seconds.
That lasts forever.
Forever.
Jonathan, does your father have more than one wife?
Yes. He has 18.
18? How can a man have so many wives?
Well, the prophet Brigham Young, he has 27.
How many wives will you have?
Well, if I married someone like you, why would I want to marry anybody else?
Catherine Fancher! Dear God, no. God, no.
We found her in the river.
Catherine Fancher!
God. Don't let the children see this. What happened?
We don't know. We found her floating in the river.
What were you doing down at the river?
I just went there to bathe.
What were you doing there?
Emily, you need to be with Nancy's children now.
But...
Emily, they're alone now.
Where are you going?
To help. I don't think that's a good idea right now, son.
You're not one of us. You don't belong here. Just be on your way. Let us take care of our own.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
In these perilous times, it's important to remember God's commandment to love even those who hate us. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. I've chosen the way of truth.
Jonathan? Jonathan, wake up. You're still here.
I couldn't leave.
We're leaving soon. And Captain Fancher wants us gone by first light.
First light?
Yes. Nancy's death has made us all very nervous.
Then I'm going with you.
To California?
Yes. To California.
You would leave everything and just come with me to California?
Yes. Because I love you. And I want you to marry me.
You do?
I would give up my life for you.
This is my pledge to marry you.
And this represents my commitment to leave.
She's beautiful.
She was my mother. She would have loved you. I have to get back before they miss me. I'll slip out early, and I'll be back by first light.
All right.
I promise.
I've asked for this special meeting of the Saints because we're about to embark on one of our greatest missions. Not even your closest wives must know. You all agree to a vow of secrecy. Yes. The Gentiles have once again invaded our land. I had a vision. The prophet Joseph Smith came to me last night. And he said, "How long will you let the Gentiles continue to drive us away?" And I couldn't answer him. I couldn't answer. Then Joseph Smith whispered that God has decreed that these Gentiles are cursed, and that they will murder every Mormon man, woman, and child.
Wait,
Mormon saints, do you remember the Mormon War? They ran us out of Missouri. Are we going to wait for them to burn our houses and slaughter us again? No! These Gentiles must die.
It's not true! It's not true! I've been among them. Upon your order, I spied on them. I didn't see or hear anything to support what you're saying.
Have you forgotten your pledge to obey the prophet and the apostles without question? The prophet and his apostles sent word that they were each given the same revelation from God. Joseph Smith said, "As Aaron was chosen by Jehovah to speak for Jehovah to Israel, so Jehovah created me, Joseph Smith, to be your God on earth." Hallelujah. The apostles were chosen to be my mouth. Hallelujah. To question the prophet and the apostles is to question Jehovah himself. Amen. We have been honored above all other men to be the chosen instruments of death in carrying out this merciful deed. It is our sacred duty. Through their deaths, these Gentiles will attain eternal salvation. We are to consider their deaths a virtuous act of grace and mercy. Amen. Brethren, we have a duty to perform. It is a duty we owe to God and to our church. The orders of those in authority are that all the immigrants must die. Our leaders speak with inspired tongues, and their orders come from the God of heaven. We have no right to question what they have commanded us to do. It is our duty to obey.
And what of the laws of our land? Do we disobey the laws of our country? Whether we like it or not, we're still part of the United States.
How dare you question the voice of the Heavenly Father?
I do not question the Heavenly Father. I question what the prophet and the apostles think they heard. Is it not possible that Satan has deceived us all?
No! The prophet and the apostles never make mistakes. They're called by the Heavenly Father himself. Although you are my son, I warn you, beware, lest Joseph Smith and Jehovah demand your blood as atonement for your sins. You know the penalties for disobedience. The prophet decrees a crown of celestial glory for all who are faithful and willingly obey. Blood atonement. 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 You are mad. Blood atonement. Traitor, arrest him. Arrest him. Tie him up. Make sure he can't warn the immigrants. We praise you, Joseph Smith, and vow to avenge your blood and the blood of all the other saints murdered by these wicked people. Blood atonement! Blood atonement! Blood atonement! Blood atonement! Blood atonement! Blood
Father, please. You can't do this.
Try to understand. Before Joseph Smith picked me off the streets, I had no future. He changed all that, made me a bishop. I have more than I ever dreamed of. Money, respect, beautiful wives. I owe everything to him. He believed in me before anyone else did. Do you understand how much that meant to me? For the first time, I understood that I had it in me to become a god someday. I was no longer a failure. There was greatness in me.
And so you choose to kill innocent women and children.
They're not innocent.
Yes, they are. Father. Like lambs to the slaughter.
They murdered Mormon children in Missouri. God demands their blood spill on the earth to atone for sins that can never be wiped away by Christ's blood. We're saving their eternal lives.
Give them a chance to get into one of the heavens.
And you really believe that? How can you all blindly honor and obey, as a god on earth, a man who went to school for 2 months? Brigham Young is an uneducated madman. Please. Oh, please! So you think he's God on earth? Well, if he is, let him hear me now! He's a crazy tyrant!
Costacha. Guanamo. Akana. Akunamwa. Tu ke stoa. Tokaf. Mokewa. Akana shinawa. Nukona. Moshinwa. Akala. Mukano. Anash. Ko akano akala. Muntu ono. Tawalak. Nuka. Usta, Noka, Akano, Akala Mantu, Una Tawalak, Nuka, Usta, Noka, Talanoa.
Okanashi. Nuka wao. Otos. Okanas. Iwa.
Aka, Nukala Stinamoa, Oka Stinamoa. Casanino, Costacha, Guanamo. Kana, Akunamwa, Ustina, Mokewa, Ekichana, Kakanasino, Kakalo, Sinue, Kokala, Sinewa.
Idoa, Stinua.
Oka, Sta, Astashte, Dinua.
God will bless you, building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you. God will bless you, building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you, building up his kingdom in the last days. Bless you for building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you, building up his kingdom. God will bless you, building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you. God will bless you, building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you, building up his kingdom. God will bless you for building up his kingdom. Bless you for building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you. Building up his kingdom. God will bless you. God will bless you. Building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you. Building up his kingdom. God will bless you. God will bless you. Building up his kingdom. God will bless you. God will bless you. Building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you for building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you. God will bless you for building up his kingdom in the last days. God will bless you. Building up his kingdom. God will bless you.
Indians! It's Indians! Go! Ready arms!
Okanuk nustoma.
Hoka nioa makashimoa.
Nusta kanu makale kune. Okanuk mastatu.
Anusta okunama. Taka nimikus.
Haneke.
Kena la kanamik.
Okanuk mastatu la ka Palestina.
Kaka no musta.
He said he'd come back.
Who?
Jonathan, he said he'd come back.
Sure, he tried. Maybe he can't get through.
Yes. He asked me to marry him. Then he said he wanted to come with me to California. So we exchanged our most precious possession. Gave him my cross. Are you angry?
I could never be angry with you, no matter what.
If we get out of this, will you marry us?
I would be proud to marry you. It has always been my dream to do so.
Pray for him. I love him so much.
I volunteered to ride to the Mormons for help. It would give me great peace of mind if you would look after my daughter while I'm gone.
Isn't there anyone else?
You should be here with your baby at a time like this.
The best rider we got. You know, we have the best chance if I'm riding.
I will look after her as though she were my own. Return safely, Robert.
It's been 4 days. I don't know how long we can hold out. Our food's low. We have no water. They know we'll die without water. All they have to do is wait. Our ammunition's almost gone. Captain Baker's dead. I'm the only leader. God help me, I don't know what to do.
We can pray. We can all pray together. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen.
These are your orders from President Haight. It has been sent by the Council of Cedar City, and it has been approved by all highest authorities.
Sir, I cannot do this.
President Haight has counseled with Colonel Dame and has orders from him to put all of the immigrants out of the way. None who are old enough to talk are to be spared. Brethren, the entire camp are cutthroats, robbers, and assassins. They're a part of the people who drove the saints from Missouri and who helped shed the blood of our prophets, Joseph and Hiram. It is our orders from all in authority to get the immigrants from their stronghold. Brother Lee, the brethren in the priesthood are united in this. It would not go well with you to oppose them. Let us pray on this matter again. Brethren, I have the evidence of God's approval of our mission. It is God's will that we carry out our instructions to the letter.
Amen.
Micah? Thank God.
Micah! Micah! Micah!
Jonathan, help me.
Get me out of here. I can't help you in here.
I can't do it anymore.
Do what?
Oh my God, what's that?
Micah, what's happening?
The Indians and the wagon train. It's awful. It's awful. I can't make any sense of it.
Micah, you tell me what's happening at the wagon train, or so help me, I will cut your throat.
Of course, blood atonement. You too? I thought you were the innocent one.
Tell me. Please.
We attacked. It started.
Get me out of here. Please.
It's too late. It's too late. It started. It's too late for me. It's too late for everybody. It started. It's too late.
Micah! Micah! Micah!
Use this on the chain and free yourself. And when you get free, Jonathan, you run as far and as fast as you can. Do not come back and do not look back. Save yourself from this while you still can.
No, I have to go to her. I have to.
There'll be nothing left to go to, Jonathan. You run. Run. Goodbye, my brother.
No, Micah, don't.
I'm going to follow the brethren. and do my duty to the Mormon God, Brigham Young.
Micah! Micah!
I didn't see it.
What?
I didn't see the sunrise.
They're coming! Get ready! Hold your fire! Thank God. It's the Mormons!
I'm John D. Lee, Indian Commissioner for this district. We have got the Indians under control. Yeah! Come with us, and you'll be safe.
Thank God. They've been at us for days. I don't think we could have lasted much longer.
Most of the Indians trust us. We have an agreement worked out with them. But we must move quickly before the dissenters convince the others to attack again. Don't worry. We've dealt with them before.
What should we do?
We must take all the weapons, all your guns, and put them in one of the wagons.
Why should we give up our guns?
We have to give the appearance of peace. No weapons.
I don't like us giving up our guns. We'd be defenseless.
Sir, we know these savages. They know that we are a militia. We have to convince them that you are in our custody.
Giving up our weapons doesn't make much sense.
Nothing we have to do in order to appease the Indians makes much sense, sir. Trust me. Don't worry. We will transport you to Cedar City in safety. Once there, you will be cared for until the opportunity comes for you to be taken to California.
I don't know about the others, but I got a bad feeling about this.
We're out of water. We're almost out of food. And the guns will do us no good without ammunition.
All right. Put all children 8 years old and younger into the other wagon.
I'm not giving you my child. Neither am I.
Do you want to save your babies? Then put them into that wagon. There'll be armed guards all around. Your babies will be protected better than your gold.
Take good care of them, Reverend.
I will.
Please comfort her, Reverend. She's so afraid.
I will take care of them all, as if they were my own Emily.
Take care of them, will you?
I will.
This is loving our neighbor as ourselves. If he needs help, help him. If he wishes salvation, and it is necessary to spill his blood upon the ground in order that he be saved, Spill it. Will you love your brothers and sisters likewise? When they have committed a sin that cannot be atoned for without the shedding of their blood, will you love that man or woman well enough to shed their blood? That is what Jesus Christ meant. He never told a man or woman to love their enemies in their wickedness. He never intended any such thing. I could refer you to plenty of instances where men have been righteously slain in order to atone for their sins.
Oh my God. No.
Halt! Wait.
Mormons, do your duty!
I do this out of duty.
May God forgive you.
Oh, Lord my God, receive their spirits.
We were not to spill the blood of the innocent.
I shot her before I realized she had a baby.
Micah! Micah! Enough! The boy's dead.
Are you sure?
Go. Do your duty for Jehovah.
Micah? Micah?
Follow the brethren. Do my duty.
Micah? Micah, where's Jonathan? Jonathan.
He's free. He's innocent.
Micah.
Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. I told you to stay out of this. I told you to leave!
Micah, give me the gun.
No. No, I cannot do that! I have to do my duty.
Micah, you can't do this. You'll be cursed.
I'm already cursed! Please. Jonathan. Shoot me. Please, I can't live like this. Put me out of my misery, please. Please, John. Let me atone for my sins.
You're my brother. I love you.
Jonathan, if you do this for me, I'll be saved. Please put me out of my misery. Kill me before I kill her!
No, Micah!
Thank you. I'm free now.
No!
You came back.
Nothing will ever give us more. We're going to California together. Remember?
California. I don't think I'm gonna make it to California.
You can't die. I won't let you die.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
You have to make it. If you die, I die.
You can't.
Don't die. I have nothing left but you. If you die, I have nothing.
We saved each other that cold September dawn. 16 children survived too young to remember, too young to tell. They were taken to Mormon families to be raised. It was a year and a half before the United States Army tracked them down and returned them to their relatives. The story of hate will eventually die. The story of love will last forever.
When did you first hear of the attack and destruction on this Arkansas company at Mountain Meadows in September 1857?
I did not learn anything of the attack or destruction of the Arkansas company until sometime after it occurred, and then only by floating rumor.
Did John D. Lee report to you at any time after this massacre? What had been done at the massacre? And if so, what did you reply to him in reference thereto?
Within some 2 or 3 months after the massacre, he called at my office and had much to say with regard to the Indians. They're being stirred up to anger and threatening the settlement of the whites. He then commenced giving an account of the massacre. I told him to stop. I did not wish my feelings harrowed up by a recital of details.
Did you, on the 10th of September, 1857, receive a communication from Isaac C. Haight or any other person of Cedar City concerning a company of immigrants called the Arkansas Company?
I did. From Isaac C. Haight or John D. Lee, who was a farmer for the Indians.
And have you that communication?
I have not. I have made diligent search for it, but I cannot find it.
Did you answer that communication?
I did, to Isaac C. Haight, who was then acting president at Cedar City.
Will you state the substance of your letter to him?
Yes, it was to allow this company of immigrants and all companies of immigrants to pass through the country unmolested. And to allay the angry feelings of the Indians as much as possible.
I want my life to be worth living, and you make that dream come true. You opened heaven's door, made the thunder roar, and I've given my heart to you. I want love to be like water, running through me like the rain. Drown me in my passion, wash away the sorrow, and cleanse me of my pain. I want you to be the reason and the answer to my prayer. If ever you were gone, I'll be holding on, and love will still be there. If I could fly, I'd be your sparrow and come to you on angels' wings. You'll never know how much I'm gonna miss your touch till we see what tomorrow